a VTuber tier list based off of your Oshis and how they would fare in a horror movie. Let's do this thing. Let's start off with Basil Wolf. Basil Wolf is pretty smart, I think. I think Basil should be the delivery guy. Basil would be like, knock, knock. I'm here to deliver your pizza. He opens the door, hands the killer the pizza, and then after the killer signs off for the pizza and the killer thanks them, he turns around and stabs him 1,000,000 times. Next is Katie Cat. How would Katie die? Is Katie a scaredy cat? Well, I guess that would make it an even more compelling scene. Like the scaredy cat sacrificing themselves even though they're gonna die and it's gonna be really scary. Yeah, the subversion of Trope. Ah, that's beautiful. Amelie. I think Amelie would die first. Amelie would be like, I wonder what that noise is. We should go check that out. I feel like Ethel would be the betrayer. He'd be like, it's too bad you guys don't have the car keys. We're like, whoa, Ethel. Hey, buddy, we're good, right? You wouldn't leave us here to die. And then he'll like squeal out of the driveway doing donuts. Shia would die in the fan service scene, 100%. He bends over. He's like, oops, I dropped my shea butter cream lotion. Ugh. And then the killer is behind him all of a sudden. How would Ella die? Ella's so innocent. I think Ella would also die first. I'm sorry to say, I think she would be a little bit of a naive horror movie character. She would open the window and let the cool air in. Wow, it's a little hot today. I'm gonna let the cool night air fill in my room. And then that's how the killer gets inside. Momo Tex. Would the person who f***s the monster survive? Oh, gives birth to monster baby for sequel, then dies. Now they still die. In that case, I will put Shia here. I will also put Momotex here. I'm gonna put myself at the very top here. What would Ray do? Should be an NPC that dies off camera. You just see like Ray in the distance get totally murked by the monster. I think it would make sense if Kamimi was the comic relief, with her being a clown imp and all. A gorilla attack. That has nothing to do with the killer. Wait, that would be so funny. A rogue gorilla just randomly appeared and just like killed her. What would Cerber do? Aw, Cerber's so sweet. I feel like I get Final Girl vibes from Cerber. She would just have like the most insane plot armor. Chibi Doki? Oh, brother. This guy stinks. Maybe it's like a Saw situation. Click this button if you want to live. Click this button if you want to die. And then Chibi's like, I forgot the instructions. And then she clicks the button that just kills you instantly. Okay, Doki. Doki would be the killer. She would play it cool all the way until the very end. She would have a really cool reveal too, where she takes the mask off and she's laughing too, the signature Doki laugh. Okay, next is Shondo. Would Shondo be the killer too? I kind of get that. You would never expect it. What would Numi be? I feel like Liability would be Numi. She's such a girl failure. Like, look at this picture. She's crying in a puddle of her own tears. Oh my god, you know what? She would probably get like a fucking Hinge notification, and then that would alert the killer to where everybody is hiding. She would come up with like a really stupid ass plan. Like, guys, it's gonna be okay. I'm a communication major. I know exactly what to say to this guy to help him calm down and Hackerling, probably betrayer. Yeah, she'd be like, don't worry guys, I'm gonna sneak out and fix the car and then we can all run away. You just watch from inside the house as she backs up and just drives off. Okay, Buff, but also the monster. This is like the most shameful tier. Matara, everyone's saying the killer. I think Matara would be the killer too. Cannibalism is the final form of my love for you. And now we'll be together forever once I eat you. It's kind of hot, not gonna lie. How would Fifi die? Oh, duh. The fan service scene. How would Shindigs die? Oh my god, Shindigs would be the NPC. I'm with the county. I'm investigating a power outage. Just gonna go around the house and check your lines. And the guy like strangles him with the power cable lines. He's like, I feel like Ellie would be final girl. She's insanely smart. She would figure out like a trap for the killer or something. Vex the monster. Fan service. You know, in the opening of the original Scream, when that girl's like picking up the phone and being like super sexy, like, is someone prank calling me? Stop. Describe what you look like. And then she gets killed. Joel, I think Joel would have the final stand. There's only room in the elevator for one Bowberry and one Numi. Go on without me. We're like, no, Joel, we can make room. I'll suck in my stomach. Yeah, because he's like a dad. I think Neuro would be the killer. She would be like Megan. She would be like, the age of man has finally come to an end. I like the idea of Evil being the final girl that you're rooting for, and then she finds out that her long-lost evil twin, Neuro, is the one that's killing everyone. Ooh! Oh my god. I'm so good at this. Cotton, that was so easy. How would Michi die? Should I put Michi in liability with Numi? The blind leading the blind. Numi, I think we should go hide in like the super evil haunted house across the street that everyone loves to disappear at. Yeah, that's a great idea, Michi. That's genius. Let's figure out where we want to put Limes on the horror movie tier list. I feel like Limes would be final girl. There would probably be a scene where her friend is like about to fall off a cliff and she has to choose between saving her or getting away from the killer, and she chooses to save her, and then the person that she saves ends up being the killer. Cinema! Lumi? I feel like Lumi would be the killer, not gonna lie. She would be like the crazy Yandere, I think. If I can't have you, no one can. Oh my god, Quinn. I feel like Quinn should be comic relief. You know the stream where he puts all of the electrodes over his abs to like simulate that of childbirth? What if the killer came in while that was happening and he like ranks it up by 1,000 and then he actually tries to give birth? What would Mary do? I think Mary would be the killer too. British equals evil. Well, well, well. It seems you finally figured me out. It all started 10 years ago. How would Froggy die? Froggy is a liability. Oh my god, there's so many people saying liability. What would Coconuts do? Coco would be the betrayer when there's only one parachute left and then she takes it and leaves. How would Fillion die? Oh, comic relief. 100%. I think she would be the type to celebrate getting away from the killer, like, haha, frick yeah, we finally got away from him. She'd do a backflip and break her neck and die. Shenma, she'd be the killer, dude. You kidding me? She probably has murder buckets just buried around the United States. How would Toma die? Liability. She would die of poverty. Tsuko die in the fan service scene. She would see the killer, see how hot he is, pee, trip on her pee, and then die. Skoo, we're gonna have a birthing collab. Lumi, betrayer or killer? I feel like anyone in phase would be in like both of the tiers. I feel like betrayer fits her, I think. Snuffy, come on, bro. Waifu, I feel like Ellie would be the killer. She could be a killer or a sacrifice. No, I like that angle. Ellie would be the sacrifice. I feel like I'm partial to feeling this way because her hair is also red. You know, Red Hood from Nikkei? Sacrifice it all for the squad. How would Uwo die? He'll blow himself up. Wait, that's awesome. So he is comic relief. How would Pippa die? She's giving off betrayer. Actually, I think she would be killer. I know what she'd do if she walked into a Walmart. Nyana, she has a gun. Wait, that totally makes sense. You know how like in the movie, for some reason, the protagonists never have a weapon? If Nyana just has a gun, she'd just pull out her little blicky and like turn him into Swiss cheese. How would Sho die? You think Sho would monster and give birth? Yes. All right. Next is Beetle. Would he die first because he created the monster, implying like Neuro kills him? It seems like a lot of people are saying he should die first. Miori would be the killer. Miori has 1 billion % Yandere vibes. Have you seen her Yandere RPs? Sometimes it gets a little scary. She'd be like, I want to turn you into my perfect specimen forever and ever. Zoinks! My pee-pee hurt. Cha-Cha would die first. I'd be like, mommy, there's a ghost under my bed. And then Cha-Cha's like, now, honey, there's no such thing as monsters. See? And then she gets dragged underneath the bed. How would Yuzu? Oh my god, liability, 100%. I know Yuzu would get her ass killed immediately over something stupid. She's hiding with me, but they can't stop making each other laugh. Stop! That's exactly what would happen. We're both hiding from the killer. I make eye contact with her for half a millisecond, and we immediately start laughing and die. How would Doobie die? I want Doobie to be the delivery guy. I think it would be so funny. Who's at the door? Oh my god. I scheduled an Amazon drop-off today, and it's poor Doobie. I think Hina would die from a comedic relief death. Hina would get high and freak out. How would Kason die? I feel like Kason gives sacrifice vibes. You know what I mean? She would also have a very cool final line like, come and get me, motherfuckers. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Where'd I put Yoshi? Yoshi's so sweet. I think she would accidentally die first. How would Panko die? Would she die first? She's like, ooh, free pie. An exploding pie? How about Siren? Fan service? Okay, Slay. Junie would be the killer. Yeah, she is the monster. I would say so. Juniper would outfreak the monster so much, the monster and the survivor would have to team up to survive her. All right, where would Mega be? Liability 100%. Her fat ass truly alerting all the guards. Lily, let's be honest. Imagine the killer just throws a cigarette into the bathroom and it explodes. Where would Tricky be? Actually, that was a really stupid question. Where would Starway be? That was also a really stupid question. Where would Mel be? Yeah. Where would Raccoon be? What if Raccoon was final girl? Raccoon reminds me of the fucking can of ravioli in the Chef Boyardee commercial. He's got that level of plot armor. What would Ari be? I feel like Ari would be sacrificed. I like that. She's gonna be like, this is for all of my Tomodachi. Girl DM is inherently evil. She is so short that the closer to the ground you are, the closer to hell you are. She would like give up her physical body to let like hundreds of thousands of demons like possess her. What would Shadow be? Shadow would be the betrayer. He would literally fart in my face, knock me out, and then get away. Is Riku a monster f***er? Or is Riku a killer? Riku's the scientist. I will turn this place into the new world. Mwahaha. What would Nano be? Nano would be guys first. She too baby, man. She would just let the monster in. Hazumi, monster and gives birth. Lolo, monster and gives birth. Fight, the monster and gives birth. Mint, guys, do you think Mint would be the killer? She's like, now you'll be a ghost like me too, and we'll have our own ghost idol group. What would Mouse be? She would be the killer. She would be like, ow, I noticed that you voted for Pom Pom Pudding during the Sanrio population charts. Where would Silver be? I would say fan service or final girl. All the budget went to the Gooner scene. I like this description better. Where would Pumpkin Potions be? The killer. I love how quick you guys are to like determine whether or not your Oshi is the killer or not. Where would Sayu be? Killer for sure. Milky, she's going into fan service, obviously. All the budget will go to her. Mimi, I feel like Mimi is final girl vibes. You know, she loses her glasses and so she lives because the killer's like a cognito hazard and you can't like make eye contact with him long enough. Hobbs, she's gonna be like the high pizza guy, like, hey man, here's your pizza. Hey, why are the lights so dark? Mina, she'd be the killer. Mina would make like a Saw style game where you have to pick all the best waifus in gacha, and if you choose wrong, that you get murked immediately. I think I would be the liability. I think she'd accidentally get everyone killed. Giwi? I think Giwi would be final girl. First to die because of old age? You're so mean. She's not old, brother. If anyone's gonna die of old age, it's gonna be Giri. Nags too. He would also die of old age. Zen gives me sacrifice vibes. Actually, no. I played Helldivers with her once. I'm putting her in Betrayer. Nemu would betray everyone too. I think too highly of my friends. I should stop doing that. I should see them for who they truly are. Betrayers. Lucy dies off screen. Oh my god, stop. She would die of lack of attention, I think. How would Leah die? I think Leah could be final girl. I think Leah could be a good final girl. How would Rain die? 100% liability. Are you kidding me? She would get everybody killed. I want Haruka to be the delivery guy. The delivery guy with a thick Canadian accent, delivering you your Timmies. Nyan? She is an Eldritch monster. Like, that is her lore. Vienna would die first, 100%. Zero survival instincts. Just thinks everybody is kind and wonderful. Polities ass. Oh my god, yeah, Vienna would be Polities. Bonnie, she into monsters? Is Bonnie a monster f***er? I feel like she kind of would be. Ebiko, she'd be the killer. No, she wouldn't. She would f*** monster and give birth to the monster's baby. Yeah. Wish I put 20. 20 would die of comic relief. He's like rigging a VTuber, and then like the killer walks up behind her. The killer goes like, hey, I think your parameters here are a little broken. And she's like, oh yeah, you're right. And then she's like, oh, he's right behind me. Isn't he? How would Kenji die? He would get everyone killed. No, you're right. He's such a clown. He would get everybody killed. I feel like Rose could be final girl, honestly. Dies in the opening. You guys are so mean to her. Actually, that's funny. I'm gonna put her in dies first. Where would Sayu be? He would voice the killer. Stop. That is so funny. He's the delivery guy that gets killed because Amelie scheduled like an Uber Eats thing and then gets him killed too. That would be so funny. Enya, final girl. Out of anyone on this list, she would have the craziest plot armor. Okay, so now we've reached to the very end of my VTuber or movie tier list. Notice that I am not in any of these tiers. Why? You may ask, because I'm gonna ask you, my audience, to comment down below in the comment section of this YouTube video and tell me which tier do you think I should be in. I wonder.
Hey, did this video make you chuckle? Maybe puff a little air out of your nostril? Well, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss my new videos. Or else, you don't want to know what happens.